evening, lovely people. So just giving you guys a walkthrough of the apiary to see what's happening down there today. I've had a colony that got themselves established in there. So far I've seen them bringing in pollen and all of that, so I think I can safely say they're pretty established right now. I'll definitely need to move them from here because I don't want them right here, as well as transfer them to a different new box, but I'm not gonna do it anytime soon. I'm probably gonna give them until weekend because I need to check one of the other hives if they're queen right, and if they're not queen right, I'm actually gonna use this colony to merge with that colony. Alright, so that's why I'm not gonna move it as yet, because I need to confirm the stability of hive number 2 to be exact before I do it. So guys, basically what you're gonna be getting now is a late May walkthrough of how the apiary looks. So currently I'm sure of 12 stable colonies, right? With the exception of number 2 in the back there that I'm not sure if it has a queen. I'll confirm this about Sunday when I do my next inspection, and then I'll know if it is indeed 13 or 12 I have. So currently I'm sure that it's 12. 11 here plus the swarm that I showed you before I came to this side. Alright, so this is how it's look. This is at the front here. You have 10 and 12. 12 I don't know, I might switch it over to a 10 frame, because one thing I want to say guys before I even go any further, the 5 frame setups, I'm not really expecting them to produce honey for me. The objective of having the 5 frame setups is to actually supplement the other colonies with a brood. So they're really here as a brood resource for the other hives, to be exact, because one of the plans I have is to actually double up in terms of the brood section for these colonies. So I'm going to be using having a double deep as a brood section, and then the shallows will just be for honey alone. So that's really the purpose of these 5 frame setups, to use them as resource hive for brood. So that's really an objective I have for later this year. Probably about October thereabout, I might think about expanding them that way, because October to November is really a semi-dirt period, and then really where the major flow for me start is late December going into January. So definitely I want to set them up, most of them, at least half of the 10 frame setups that I have, I want to get at least half of them into a double deep setup before December. So that means that population in there can be super large to maximize on the honey flow that's coming. So next to here is 3 and 4. As you can see there, number 4 has a lot of activity coming back home. And guys, as I tell you, the nectar flow for me in my little area here, it's a weird nectar flow. So right now, well, you see this tree that's above these colonies? It's called a privet, and it's currently blooming, guys. You see, before, like earlier in the month in April, it had a little bit of bloom on it, but right now this seems like it's actually in its full bloom state. If you, the entire tree is filled with blossom, guys, and the bees are definitely in it. It's more to the top section you'll see them foraging in this tree. So definitely all the privet trees in the areas are now blooming. Last month it was a few of the lago trees were blooming, and a few of the ackee trees. Now it's the privets that are now blooming, and then you still have I still have a few ackee trees, even the little one that was blooming a couple months back, right over there, that I showed you in a previous video, that now has a little of a few more blossoms coming out from last week to this week. So it's weird, guys. Like, the nectar flow for me is extremely weird. Let me see if I can show you that little bee. You see him? See him there on the bloom? Yeah. So the nectar flow for me, guys, is pretty weird. Like, it's hard to predict, especially now that rain is coming about, and we have had a few rainy days. You know that the plants are now getting the water that they want to really push forward in terms of blossoming and stuff like that. Yeah, you'll have a few more trees blooming. I know definitely something with pollen was blooming last month, because a lot of the colonies were bringing a lot of pollen. So right now, what you're looking at here is number 1 and 2. Number one is pretty stable. Number 2 is the worry hive, is the hive I'm really concerned about. I need to find out if there's a queen in there. It has been queenless from, I believe, from March, late March. You know, late March I thought that one of the cells had hatched, but it seemed as if that queen that came out there was a drone laying queen. She probably never got mated properly, and they superseded her. So the supersedure cell, I think, hatched about last week. So I'm hoping there's actually a queen in there, and that queen has mated properly and potentially started laying. So Sunday is definitely the day that I'm going to check it out to see if there's any eggs or larvae in there. So number 1, pretty fine. And then right there, you're looking at the number 7 and 11. Yeah, it's funny, 7 and 11 sitting right beside each other. Number 11, I expanded from a 5-frame setup recently. I think I have a video showing you guys that. So these two doing pretty fine. I know number 7 has developed excellently over the past few months. So these hives definitely, guys, are strong, pretty strong hives, and should be able to produce a few honey for me in the later part of the year. At least 5 frames of honey. And then we have number 9, number 6. Now number 9 was one of the slower splits, so I'm not sure about it. But I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it and see what's happening with regards to it. Number 6 is really the strongest hive I have right now. I believe those 2 supers have honey in them. Mostly the top one. The top one definitely has about 10 or 9 frames full of honey in there. So it's just a waiting period for them to cap that off, so I can really get that to the extraction with that. And given that stuff are blooming right now, I'm looking forward to them actually filling the second section with honey and nectar. And then over that side now you have 5 and 8. Both 5 and 8 have new queens. Number 8's queen is a little bit older than number 5, but granted, when number 5 came about, it had a super strong population to push it, you know. So definitely expecting those 2 hives to perform well. The queens have been doing excellently based on what I've seen so far in the prior inspections. Of the 12 guys, I know 5, 8, 6, 11, 7 and 4 are doing pretty well in terms of the population and in terms of the strength of brood that's in the colony. Nice. The slower ones are really number 9, 3 and 10. And Well, the 5-frame setups are going to be 5-frame setups. They're on the slow side as well. I thought they would have been a little bit more build out going below, but based on my observation so far, it appears the bees tend to build upwards, and I believe they really follow wherever the higher temperature is. I think that's what governs a colony, you know, the ability to, wherever they can maintain a higher temperature, for them to rear the brood, that's where they'll move to, you know, and that's where they'll tend to build first, in terms of comb, new comb and stuff like that. So that's what I really gather from all the observations. So most of these colonies that you see I have the shallow below the brood section, I'll be definitely moving them up, and that's really now, I think I'll wait though until I have procured the other deep boxes, and then I'll make that change now to the double deep setup, you know, preparations for next year, because this year was really an expansion year, and I was trying my best to ensure that I can get a little honey you know, so it should go well, or it's going well so far, you know, with the exceptions of a few hives giving me queen issues. But yeah, definitely next year now it's really to capitalize on the strength of the hives, build them into a double deep, and next year it's really now a honey production year, you know, because I don't expect to expand any further in the back of the yard. It's really these hives are what I'm going to be using, you know. So that's it, guys. Kai farm, apiary, and a little backyard garden, you know. Yep. So let's see if I can give you guys a nice preview of how it looks. I have a one bee just trying to badman me to move out of the area, you know. It's like bouncing into me and say, yo, get away, get away. So you see quite a lot of activity at number 4. Definitely the bees bringing in nectar. So let's see what happened, guys. So let's see if I can give you guys a nice little preview. So this is how the apiary looks, guys. So if it is that number 2 is queen, right, guys, and what I'll do is the swarm that's on the blocks over there to my left, I'll move it about here and use one of the other stands that I have vacant. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out and enjoy your weekend, guys.